All right, so here is audio. Listen to the audio very carefully. You will be allowed to listen to the audio 2 times. Before listening to the audio, let's find out our personal opinions. You have to give the proper numbers. The number 1, the middle ear is the main part of the ear. Do you think that? If you think it is mentioned, you can write mentioned right now. And later, go to the second one. A conductive hearing loss is not directly associated with the inner ear. You have to ask yourself, okay, Ashita or Ashlyn or Bindu, you have to ask yourself, do I know? Do I know this for sure? No, I'm not sure. So leave it like this. Okay. Conductive hearing loss is when sound cannot enter the middle ear through the outer ear. You have to ask yourself, do I know this? If you do not know, just leave that. So during the first 30 seconds, you'll be having some 30 seconds before the audio starts playing. You have to make your own personal opinions, okay? And after that, we can make the final opinions. So we are going to answer them. So hope everything is clear to everybody. The purpose of this class is to make you understand reading and listening much better. This is for listening, and now you can listen to the audio. Listen carefully. If you cannot hear this, please let me know. Please increase the volume on your side. Everybody, please be completely silent and do that.
You hear a hearing expert talking about conductive hearing loss. Read the statements carefully and say which is mentioned and which is not mentioned. Beware of your personal opinions.
Now you can wait for the audio. It's going to be played. I hope everybody can listen to this audio very clearly, right? Anybody? Any problem? No problem.
No problem.
All right. We are going to listen to the audio now.
Your ear is made up of 3 parts: the outer, the middle, and the inner ear. A conductive hearing loss happens when sounds cannot get through the outer and middle ear. It may be hard to hear soft sounds. Louder sounds may be muffled. Medicine or surgery can often fix this type of hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss can be caused when fluid enters your middle ear from colds or allergies, ear infection, or otitis media. Otitis is a term used to mean ear infection, and media means middle. Poor eustachian tube function is another cause for conductive hearing loss. The eustachian tube connects your middle ear and your nose. Fluid in the middle ear can drain out through this tube. Fluid can stay in the middle ear if the tube does not work correctly. A hole in your eardrum can be another cause for conductive hearing impairment. Benign tumors are not cancer, but they can block the outer or middle. Earwax stuck in the ear canal can be a cause for this kind of hearing loss. Infection in the ear canal, called external otitis, is yet another cause. An object stuck in the outer ear is another cause. An example might be children putting pebbles in their ear when playing outside. Conductive hearing loss or impairment can happen depending on how the outer or middle ear is formed. Some people are born without an outer ear. Some may have a deformed ear canal or have a problem with the bones in their middle ear.
That was the first one. Now you'll be able to listen to this audio once again. And there are 2 problems you must be facing right now. One, you are not able to understand all the words. Second one, even if you are able to understand all the words, the answers are a bit confusing. And there is a third problem which will not happen in the examination because the questions are very close to each other. But in the exam, you'll have more time than this in between each question. right? So you're going to listen to this audio a second time. Those who have got the answers, please raise your hands. We are going to play the audio a second time.
You hear a hearing expert talking about conductive hearing loss. Read the statements carefully and say which is mentioned and which is not mentioned. Beware of your personal opinions.
Ear. Parts. Your ear is made up. Your ear is made up of 3 parts: the outer, the middle, and the inner ear. A conductive hearing loss happens when sounds cannot get through the outer and middle ear. It may be hard to hear soft sounds. Louder sounds may be muffled. Medicine or surgery can often fix this type of hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss can be caused when fluid enters your middle ear from colds or allergies, ear infection, or otitis media. Otitis is a term used to mean ear infection, and media means middle. Poor eustachian tube function is another cause for conductive hearing loss. The eustachian tube connects your middle ear and your nose. Fluid in the middle ear can drain out through this tube. Fluid can stay in the middle ear if the tube does not work correctly. A hole in your eardrum can be another cause for conductive hearing impairment. Benign tumors are not cancer, but they can block the outer or middle. Earwax stuck in the ear canal can be a cause for this kind of hearing loss. Infection in the ear canal, called external otitis, is yet another cause. An object stuck in the outer ear is another cause. An example might be children putting pebbles in their ear when playing outside. Conductive hearing loss or impairment can happen depending on how the outer or middle ear is formed. Some people are born without an outer ear. Some may have a deformed ear canal or have a problem with the bones in their middle ear.
Those who have got the answers, please raise your hands. Jemati, Anchita, Vaishag, Maryam, Jinsi, Apsara, Philomena, Shima, Ramya, so many people have got the answers. I hope all your answers are correct. But here is the last attempt for beginners and who are still struggling to get through listening. There is a third chance. After that, we will be having the discussion and we will see how many. So as I told you in the beginning of this class, you have to score a minimum of 9 out of 10 for at least 5 to 10 such sections. This is very important for you. And the spelling is very important. We'll be having a special task for spelling every day. I hope you have done that yesterday also. In case I forget to upload any kind of task or something, please remind me by asking in the group. You can do that. So we are going for a third attempt, and this time it will be faster. Please wait for that.
Opinions.
The inner ear. Your ear is made up of 3 parts: the outer, the middle, and the inner ear. A conductive hearing loss happens when sounds cannot get through the outer and middle ear. It may be hard to hear soft sounds. Louder sounds may be muffled. Medicine or surgery can often fix this type of hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss can be caused when fluid enters your middle ear from colds or allergies, ear infection, or otitis media. Otitis is a term used to mean ear infection, and media means middle. Poor eustachian tube function is another cause for conductive hearing loss. The eustachian tube connects your middle ear and your nose. Fluid in the middle ear can drain out through this tube. Fluid can stay in the middle ear if the tube does not work correctly. A hole in your eardrum can be another cause for conductive hearing impairment. Benign tumors are not cancer, but they can block the outer or middle. Earwax stuck in the ear canal can be a cause for this kind of hearing loss. Infection in the ear canal, called external otitis, is yet another cause. An object stuck in the outer ear is another cause. An example might be children putting pebbles in their ear when playing outside. Conductive hearing loss or impairment can happen depending on how the outer or middle ear is formed. Some people are born without an outer ear. Some may have a deformed ear canal or have a problem with the bones in their middle ear.
That's it. We have to find the answers now. How many of you have done finally? Can I expect something like 20, 22, 25 who have done this? You can raise your hand confidently because nobody is going to ask you questions personally. I always try to avoid personal questions in this class because some of you feel embarrassed when questions are directed to them personally. So you can be comfortable here. Okay, so the middle ear is the main part of the ear. It doesn't say which is the main one. So it is only talking about three parts. Nowhere it is mentioned which is the main part, which is a secondary part, nothing like that. There is no comparison here. A conductive hearing loss is not directly associated with the inner ear. Yeah, it clearly says that it is something happening in the outer and the middle ear. So the inner ear is not involved here. So it's not directly associated with the inner ear is something, it's a mentioned statement, you can say. 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. All right, so I hope you're getting good score today. Conductive hearing loss is when sound cannot enter the middle ear through the outer ear. The audio does not say the source and destination. According to this statement, conductive hearing loss is when sound cannot enter the middle ear through the outer ear. But the audio says when sound cannot enter both of them, like either the outer ear or the middle ear or both the ears. Not like first it enters the outer ear, then it is entering the middle ear. There is no such order is not mentioned anywhere here. So if you listen to the audio again and again, you'll understand that this is not mentioned. This may be true. This may be true, but this is not mentioned in the audio directly or indirectly. Maybe some of you are not again able to understand the third one. I'll share the audio in the group so you can listen to the audio, and still you won't agree, please get back to me. I will explain that to you. A person with a conductive hearing loss can't hear soft sounds. The audio doesn't say they can't. It is difficult for them to. Okay, can't means I can't do it means it is 10 out of 10. Okay, it is 10 out of 10 or 0 out of 10. Both of them are completely fine. If you are talking about your ability, it is 0. If you're talking about your inability, it is 10 out of 10. Can't. Okay. So this is, let me just take it in this way, in the negative way, 0 out of 10. But in the audio, it says it is difficult for them. So difficult does not mean can't. It is difficult for many people to pass OET, does not mean that nobody can pass OET. It is difficult, but doesn't mean that you won't pass. You will pass, but it is difficult to pass. Okay. Very rarely, medicine or surgery cannot fix conductive hearing loss. Very rarely, medicine or surgery cannot fix conductive hearing loss. I think you have to listen to the audio just once. I'll make you listen to the audio once again. Just that part only.
Sounds. Louder sounds may be muffled. Happens when sounds cannot get the three parts, through the outer and middle ear. It may be hard to hear soft sounds. Louder sounds may be muffled. Medicine or surgery can often fix.
See, medicine or surgery can often fix. Often, what is the number of often? Something like often means 8 out of 10 is a number for often. That means if something is 8 out of 10, there is 2 missing. Like most English medium students can often pass OET in the first attempt. This does not mean that every English medium students can clear OET in the first attempt. Most of them can often. So often is having a number of 8 or 9 in that very clearly says that there is something missing. So very rarely medicine or surgery cannot fix conductive hearing loss. Okay, so very rarely medicine. So this answer, this statement is mentioned according to the audio. You can listen and you can finalize it. Otitis media or otitis media is an infection in the outer or middle ear. So media very simply means middle, media, middle, and this is not involving the outer ear. So this is a not mentioned statement. The middle ear is connected to the nose. Yes, there is a connection with the eustachian tube. It is connecting. So the middle ear is connected to the nose is mentioned here. And then fluid in the middle ear can escape. The word used in the original audio is drain out. You may have heard drain out. So drain out is synonymous to escape. So what I did was I just changed the word and confused you. Fluid in the middle ear can escape through the eustachian tube. So this is another can. Because of the word can, it is definitely a mentioned statement. I hope you know the number of can. Can means like it is 6 out of 10. It can be also 7 out of 10. It can be 8 out of 10. It can be 9 out of 10. It can be 10 out of 10. Probably can is such a very special word in English language, which has got multiple levels of possibility. I can teach OET. I can pass OET. When I say I can teach, it is something like 9 or 10 out of 10. I can teach because I'm teaching OET right now. But when I say I can pass OET, that is a lesser possibility, I think, for even for me also. All right. So I can pass and I can teach. I can eat. I can eat anything. That can be a possibility only, so not a high possibility. So this keeps on changing. So fluid in the middle ear can escape through the eustachian tube is also another mentioned statement. We are just looking at one thing. How many of you are going to get 9 out of 10 in this class? And if your score is going to be less than 7 or 5, don't have to worry at all, because you are not wasting your time. You are improving your skills. That's it. The most important thing is skills. Many people, when they go to any institute, they will start with listening and reading samples, and they will feel so much disappointed, and their score will not improve because they are just doing the sample papers only. This kind of discussions are highly important. So let's continue to the ninth one. An impaired functioning of the eustachian tube can lead to fluid staying in the middle ear. An impaired functioning of the eustachian tube can lead to fluid staying in the middle ear is clearly mentioned in the audio. So that is also a mentioned statement. Some people are born without an outer ear. There is no confusion. This is very clearly mentioned in the are born. They are born without an outer ear is very clearly mentioned in the audio. So here are these, and can I know how many of you got 9 or 10 out of 10? Please raise your hands. So I can see that the hardworking people in this class, very dedicated students, I can feel that. So please understand, only 4 people got it. How is that possible? Ashita, you got it. Varsha, you got it. Bindu, great. Shima, great. Others, what happened? Okay, can I know how many of you got 8 and above? Will you please raise your hands? 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10. All right. So please don't worry. You're just very close to scoring a high score. So please make sure that you attend or watch a minimum of 30 listening mention practice tasks. That's very, very important. Apart from that, you should also attend the spelling task also, which is very important one. So we are moving to the reading part today. Please ask me if you have a question. If you have a question, you can ask me right now. Otherwise, we are going to the reading part, which is going to be really interesting. Let's go to the reading part now. Yesterday, we had a set of questions from paragraph number 1 from the part C. Part C, paragraph number 1. From a very small paragraph, we had something around 5 questions. Today also, we are going to have the same kind of thing. Here is your first question. We have got 2 questions to complete, 8.1 and 8.2. Complete them within maximum 2 minutes or 1 minute and raise your hands. I'll be back. Please complete 8.1 and 8.2 and raise your hands. I'll be starting the discussion when I see 20 hands. I'll be waiting for 20 people to raise your hands here. Please raise your hands. "18 out of 30. Just 2 more people to raise your hands. Jayamati, you have not raised your hand. Hina, you have not. Is it by mistake or? All right, we have to, okay, find out this one. Look at this. In the second paragraph, of course, this is the second paragraph, no doubt. There is no doubt about this one. This is the second paragraph. The writer, okay, writer's opinion is asked here. Not your opinion, but the writer's opinion aims to emphasize what is the importance here? What is the importance? Emphasize. Emphasize means what? What is the main point here? The main part. Main. That is the M. M of the. This is an M question connected to the objective question. Okay. What is the objective of this one? So aim and main part is asked here. Impacts of hearing loss on young people. Are we talking only about young people? If you are talking only about young people, there is a problem. What about adults? Why are we forgetting the adult part here? Adult is also important. So, second, young people is for children, for teenagers. But young doesn't mean adults are not basically young. So this may not be the correct answer because young people. Looking at the second one, B, significant global effect on noise-related hearing loss. Significant global effect. Where do you find global things here? Global. Can you find global things? There is global here. Okay, I agree with you. There is a global thing. Where is global? Yeah, globally. The word globally is here. No doubt. Okay, I have no objection with that. But the problem is globally, whereas globally is here, then what about Australia? Australia comes and Australia is not global. Australia is just a single country. So that cannot be global. So this is how some people find their answers. I hope you are getting it. Going to the third one, WHO's, whose statistical information on hearing loss. Yes, of course, WHO is also involved here. Where is WHO? I think I heard, I saw, yeah, World Health Organization is here. According to the World Health Organization, hearing loss is already one of the leading causes of disability in adults globally, and noise-induced hearing loss is its second largest cause. Who is not very important here, because the question is what is the aim and what is the emphasis. So can we simply say the WHO's guidelines are the most important part here? Because WHO comes basically in just one sentence. So an information found only in one single sentence, how can you say that this is a main aim and this is a main emphasis? All right. Okay, I'm just giving you the options. You can decide that one. WHO is there, but it is not something, because of course, you look at this one, in Australia, hearing loss is a big concern. Of course, this is not said by World Health Organization. This is Australian government's own observation, not WHO's observation. So this is not connected to the WHO sentence. So are you going to say that this is the main aim, the main focus, the main emphasis, an information which is found only in just a single sentence? Okay, let's go to D. Huge cost of hearing loss treatment in Australia. Okay, here in Australia, let's look at the quantity of this one. Up to here, this one is a D. The D part is only this much. D part is only this much. So can we say that this is the what do you say, the aim of and the emphasis here? Can we say that? And if you look at this one, several researchers have expressed serious concerns over how babies and newborns, look at this one, babies and newborns, the whole paragraph, sorry, the whole 3 lines are about babies. So look at the first one, A, impact of hearing loss on young people. babies, children, up to adults. They are all young people. So you can see, finally, we can conclude something like several researchers. This is all about young people. This is all about young people. Okay. So let's conclude that this is young people and this is also young people. Can you find any other area where young people are mentioned? If you consider this way, A can be the correct answer. So A is going to be the correct answer almost, but let's eliminate this one whose statistical information on hearing loss is not the aim or the emphasis here. So we are eliminating that one because the content is very less for that. Huge cost of hearing loss treatment in Australia. If you are going to single out Australia, then what about the other emphasis here? So this also cannot be the correct answer here. Significant global effect of noise-related hearing loss. Significant global effect on. Let's look at this one. Is the first sentence a global problem? Yes, it is a global. Adults listen to loud music too. This is also global adults, not some the adults in India or some countries. According to the World Health Organization, hearing loss is already one of the leading causes of disability in adults globally. This is also a global issue. And noise-induced hearing loss is its second largest cause. Even that is also a global issue. So what happens is this one up to here, all of these things are completely global things. Global. In Australia, hearing loss is a big public health issue. So this is only about Australia. And here, this is also a global concern. So now finally, the global thing is becoming larger than all the others. So according to me, B has to be the correct answer. How many of you independently believe that B can be the best answer here? The writers aim to emphasize all these things together. What is the best one? How many of you support B? Please raise your hands.
B, sir. B.
I hope you understood the reason why B can be the correct answer, because look at the, so whenever you see this kind of statements, questions, part B or part C, so what is this kind of question known as? This is known as the M type of questions, okay? M type of questions. That means the main, or it is also like the objective, main and O. Yesterday, I explained the different kinds of questions. The main kind of questions are there. Then E types of questions are there. L types of questions are there. L means what you learned from this paragraph. Okay. And this one means what does it mean? What does the author mean by? Okay. And also, what is the main area? What is the main idea of this paragraph? Something like that one. And then there is E and then L and O. O means objective. What is the purpose of this one? What is the purpose of this one? Objective. Okay. Or the aim, objective or aim. So before looking at the questions, before solving each question, you have to understand what is the question's main, what kind of a question is it? Is it a mean kind of question? Is it a main kind of question? Is it an E kind of question? What was E? I forget E. What was E? What is, okay, exception. What is, okay, exception type of questions, like exception kind of questions will be found very close to words like but or however. In such cases, or even although, in although kind of statements also you can see the exception type of questions will be there, exception. Okay, and then there is objective type of questions or aim type of questions, and then N type of questions, which is not mentioned according to the paragraph. Okay, and then finally, there is the S type of questions. What is S kind of questions? What is S kind? What was S? I forgot S. Second title is one type. There is another one. I forgot that. Okay, I'll come back with that. I forgot. Okay, so these are the kinds of questions. Before solving any part B or part C question, you have to think: is it a meaning type question? What does the author mean by? What does it imply? Okay, all those things. Okay, and then
Sir, as his suggestion.
okay, suggestion. Yeah, suggestion kinds of questions are also there. So
Summary.
words like suggest, recommend, these kinds
Summary.
of summary. Correct.
Summary,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, summary. Summary is another one. Summary type of questions and suggestion type of questions. There are two kinds of things. So suggestion kinds of questions will be having something like words like recommend, suggest, ought to, need to. Okay, these are the words used for that one. Whereas for main, we will be finding words like must, okay, must and should are the more words used very close to that one. For exception type, but and however will be found very close to that one. What do we learn? Like understand, imply, these kinds of things will be there. Okay, or you can also see like reveals. Very close to these kinds of words, you'll be finding the answers of that. Objective and aim is very clear to you, not mentioned. Okay, what is not mentioned here? You find out the not mentioned ones, you have to A, B, C, and D. You have to eliminate three of the correct answers. You have to eliminate three of the correct answers, and then the other one will be the correct answer. So the incorrect answer will be the correct answer for the not mentioned kind of question. So part B and part C are basically having all these kinds of questions. Don't forget that. We have to go on. I think I am taking too much time explaining too much. Does it become, are you getting tired of my taking too much time? Anybody?
No, sir.
A bit, I think. I'm sure some people who are already doing good, they may be feeling a bit, uh, okay, bored in my class. But, I have to look at everybody in the class. So the second one, 8.2, according to who, there is no other impairment that causes as much disability in adults as hearing loss does. Noise-induced hearing loss is the second largest disability in adults worldwide. Noise-induced hearing loss is the second largest cause of disability in adults worldwide. See here, one is second largest disability is there. Second one is second largest cause of disability is there. That means there is a bit of confusion there. In Australia, 1 in 6 people have hearing impairment. This statement is not directly said by WHO. So we can easily eliminate this one. Because where is it mentioned that this is also said by WHO? That is not WHO's headache. This is by the Australian government. They will make this kind of research and something like that one. WHO can also do that, but basically WHO is not dealing with countries directly. So even if it is said by WHO, there is no evidence that it is said by WHO. So we eliminate D. Then there is no other impairment that causes as much disability in adults as hearing loss is also being eliminated. Anybody knows the reason for that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, according to the World Health Organization, hearing loss is already one of the leading causes. One of the leading causes. Okay, let me just make it all black color. It only says it is one of the leading causes. So when I say Divya Thomas is one of the students in this class, when I say Divya is one of the, or when I say Amita, or when I say Varsha is one of the students here, this does not mean that she is the only student. There are other students also. She is one of the students, or she is one of the most, studious students or hardworking student. Even that also means there are others. One of the, just look at your fingers. Please look at your fingers. One of my fingers, it's not one of my finger. So whenever you see one of the, it means there are two or three or out of three or five, this one of the comes. So for this reason, there is no other impairment that causes as much a disability in adults as hearing loss. Just like here, Divya is a hardworking student. Okay, is a hardworking student is one of our hardworking students. Divya is one of our hardworking students. One of them means out of 10, out of 20, out of 30, she is just one of them. She is not the only one. This is a reason we are going to eliminate this A also now. Okay. There is no other impairment that now we have to single out one of them. Noise-induced hearing loss is the second largest disability in adults. Noise-induced hearing loss is the second largest
Cause of
cause of disability
disabilities.
in adults. So C will be the correct answer. Anybody shocked? Do you want to have a discussion on this? Anybody? Cause
No,
is
sir.
mentioned here. Yeah, it's very clear. Okay, so cause and disability are slightly different one. So the correct answer will be C will be the correct answer. We are moving to number 8.3. Here is it. Those who got the answer, please raise your hand. According to researchers, babies and newborns are in the danger of voice-induced impairments because their father, elder sister, or elder brother speaks very loudly, because they are allowed to play with their mother's cell phones, because they are exposed to loud voices over a phone, because their mothers had high use of mobile phones during pregnancy. How many of you thought, okay, let me eliminate one by one. Because their father, elder sister, or elder brother speaks very loudly. Did you notice here? The scenario, probably some of you did not understand the scenario. Like a mother, she's having the baby for the first time. She just delivered a baby today. And of course, she wants to have the husband also with her at that time. But husband is somewhere far away, and the husband wants to talk to the baby also. Then the mother will, out of ecstasy, out of excitement, the mother will let the baby use the phone sometimes. This is a scenario here. Okay, and the baby will be exposed to high volume of noise from the, okay, so looking at the first one, their brother speaks very loudly is not the correct answer. This is something connected to somebody, like for example, like a mother is having a baby, and that is their second baby at the age of 45. Okay, their first child is already studying in Australia. She's pursuing a nursing course right now. That she is something around 20 years or something like 19 years. So the elder sister also wants to talk to the baby also. So this is real. Sometimes it happens. One of my students, of course, in Delhi, she had a younger sister when she was studying in the 12th class. Okay, it was an embarrassment for so many people, but of course in Delhi things are different, so society accepts that one. Okay, so the mother was around 40 or 45 or something at that time. All right, I'm not telling any lie, it's a reality. Okay, so at that time that elder one, maybe a brother or a sister or maybe the father himself wants to talk, so they'll be speaking very loudly. So understanding the scenario is very important one. I don't know how many of you were able to understand the scenario here. So now we are moving to the correct answers, because their father, elder sister, or elder brother speaks very loudly. Yes, it is kind of correct, but this is not showing the presence of a mobile phone, or through the mobile phone is not mentioned here. So we are eliminating the first one, because they are allowed to play with their mother. Play does not really necessarily mean that they will be exposed to sounds. Playing is different from, okay, because they are exposed to loud voices over a phone. This is much more practical. Why? Because the father, first time mothers, okay, fathers or elder sisters or elder brothers voice over the phone. Forgetting the loudness. Okay, here the phone comes here. Someone's voice over the phone. I hope it is clear, right? I think I am over exaggerating now. All right. So finally, looking at the D, because their mothers had high use of mobile phones, possible, but that's not mentioned here. So definitely this is the right one. How many of you had really decided that this was the correct answer? Will you please raise your hands very fast? Let me know how many of you. 22 out of 30. 24. 24, 25. Yeah, good, great, very good. Okay, then we have the next one. 8.4 is here. The class will be over very soon, so don't worry. All right, this is a bit tricky question. Let's see how many of you are going to find the correct answer. Please raise your hands very fast. Only 10 out of 30 of you have raised the hands. Please raise your hands after completing. Shall we go to the questions? Yeah, I got the 21st 20. I have a request to everybody. See, I have asked everybody to raise the hands. If you are not able to raise your hands in the given time, if you're always outside of the 20 out of 30, it's a cause for concern, please. That means your speed is low. All right. So those who are coming last, they are slow, but it's okay, no problem. You will improve later on. Let's look at this one, 8.4. Hearing loss becomes a public health issue in Australia. See, this is about Australia only. Public health issue, public plus health issue in Australia due to the high number of hearing impairment cases. High number of hearing impairment cases. All right, I have no objection. Your answer may be right, but there is a problem. The problem is like high number is there. Okay, 6 people, 1 in 6 people is, of course, it's a high number. But at the same time, costing taxpayers over this is not mentioned here. This answer has got only one aspect of this one. One is the high number. High number is there, but the cost is not there in the option number A. So this answer is less likely. This may not be the right answer. Going to the second one, high mortality and high cost of treatment. High cost of treatment is there, no problem. Okay, it is there. But there is no mortality mentioned here. It's not mortality. This is not death rate. Mortality means always about the death. So no death is mentioned here. Therefore, we cannot take that one also. Going to the C, high level of hazards and high cost of treatment. High cost of treatment, of course, this is high cost. Hazards that is also there. In this one, both the things are here. Going to the last one, taxpayers bear an unreasonably high burden. Okay, that is completely fine. It is very high, but that is not the right answer. Why? Because the number of cases is not mentioned in that one. So for all these reasons, the correct answer will be C will be the correct answer. How many of you got C as the correct one? Please raise your hands. 18, 17, 16, 16. That's all. 15 only. It's okay. I think somebody wants to ask a question to clear the doubt. Please ask me. Please, please, please ask. Because going home with a confusion is always bad. Please, in case you want to clear some of the confusions, I think I have explained well. If that didn't satisfy you, you can ask me now. This means you're all satisfied. We have one more question, that is 8.5. You know, we are dealing with the same paragraph. Because of this reason, your skill is really improving. This is the reason we are having multiple questions from the same paragraph. Same paragraph, you are having multiple questions. Okay, all the best. Try this 8.5. Those who got the answer, please raise your hands. So your time is over. I'm going to declare the answer. Let me do the elimination method once again. Hearing impairment rates among adults are lower than. Where is it mentioned? Lower than. The problem is not just limited to children and teenagers either. Adults all listen to loud music too. So maybe when you read this sentence, since adults come after this area, you may feel that this is less important and that is more important, according to this paragraph, not according to your common sense. Adults listen to loud music too. So there is no comparison here. Lower, higher, faster, no comparison is here. So we are eliminating that. Second one, although adults listen to loud sounds from personal devices, they don't usually suffer from hearing impairment. They don't usually suffer from hearing impairment. Where is it found that, okay, the problem is not just limited to children and teenagers either. Adults listen to loud music too. If you read this part alone, it doesn't say that adults are having impairment. But in the coming areas, you can very clearly say adults globally is here. Okay, so the statement, although adults listen to loud sounds from personal devices, they don't usually suffer, is completely absurd. This cannot be the right answer in any way. When it comes to adults, they listen only to music. My God, they are only listening to only music. Poor people. Okay, they don't listen to anything else. Totally absurd. So definitely this will be the right answer. Adults are also in danger of hearing loss just as those younger than them. Younger than them means the first one, children and teenagers. Adults are also in danger of hearing loss just as those younger than them. See, here I did not say just as is not equal to, it's not equal to, just as other people do. Okay, so many people are passing in OET just as so many people are passing in IELTS. So there is no comparison between which is higher, which is lower. Just as many people are eating rice in India, just as people in Indonesia do. There is no kind of a comparison between in which country people eat more rice, just as. All right, hope it is all very clear to you. Although the last one is still having a confusion, and this can be only 90% correct. But since no other answer is able to reach 90%, this will be the correct answer finally. So that's it. Can I ask you, out of these 5 questions, is there anybody who got 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5? Please raise your hand. 4 or 5. Great.
Four, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure some of you also got 5. I don't want to ask that question because if you say yes, others will be feeling so sad. This is really a natural thing. Especially those who got 2 or 1 will be feeling, oh, I want to kill them. Those who got a 5 out of 5. Okay, no problem. Those who got only 1 today, just be happy. The only thing is that don't waste your time. Try to understand and accept what I'm teaching here. That's the end of this class. And I'll be back with the writing part. Those who are having writing problems, please don't miss the class. 10:30 is the time, but it is already 10:33. We'll be starting within 10 minutes. See you then. Bye-bye. Okay.